over years and years and years, you find a way of not being everything you are so that you can pretend to be something that fits in this, something that has validated this, something that will not destroy all of this. And now here you are living your life 30 years later going, why do I keep having the same issue over and over and over? Well, is it you, the being, that has the issue, or is it the structure of reality that you have invented as you that actually isn't? You create this structure, and this structure has been determining 99% of your choices. If you use all of life comes with ease and joy and glory, everything is the opposite, and out of control would help too. If you choose to be interesting point of view, what'll happen is you will start to perceive spaces of possibility in things you thought it was impossible to change. Take it upon yourself. Put the power in your hands to no longer be messed up. In order for things to change, you've got to let reality as you know it melt. And one of the most difficult things for everything for us is the willingness to allow that to happen. The one thing you and every other people-y person on the fucking planet desires more than anything else is to have a predictable reality. Every element of suffering in your life is so you can maintain a predictable reality. True receiving is receiving everything with no point of view and no judgment. Okay? Interesting point of view is where that occurs. But all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be. Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be are some of the elements of that. Let's say you have a particular stressor that comes up or you get activated in either a familiar way or an unfamiliar way. One of the things I've let people know forever is just everything that is, destroy and uncreate it and run the clearing statement, and it will start to change. Well, I've upgraded that with recent awarenesses, which is everything that is, destroy and uncreate it, POC and POD, run the clearing statement, and then all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, whatever. And then everything is the opposite of what it appears to be. Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30 times. And take it upon yourself. Put the power in your hands to no longer be messed up. But in order to do that, you've also got to have your awareness that you're doing a lot of everything that keeps you messed up, messed reality. You're doing a lot of it so that you can maintain predictability. There's a whole structure that your family had that you were supposed to adhere to. And for a lot of you, when you were just being, especially as you got to a certain point where you were talking and all this sort of stuff, but as you were just being, you were a being that was destabilizing to their reality. And if you were around anybody who was really mean, like I grew up with mostly people who were mean, which is kind of interesting, okay? And if you're around people who were mean, what happens is when you be that, see, their entire idea is this is reality, this is real, and from here I can have this, as long as it doesn't destabilize any of the bricks I've used to create my reality. And you as a being are just like poof, melt, poof, just by being. And it's the one thing you haven't been willing to be since. Why? Because you were so destabilizing to people's realities when you weren't controlling you, when you weren't thinking, when you weren't being predictable, that it freaked people out so much and, in a sense, terrified them energetically. A lot of them abused you. A lot of them tried to make you wrong. A lot of them have been trying to basically be your primary gate masters forever. And so what you learn from that, because it doesn't just it happens billions upon billions of times. And so you come out with this reality of I better never be me. I better never be me. I better never be me. So people want, once again, more than anything else, to have a predictable reality. Now I'm saying this over and over and over again because I've said it thousands of times and people don't fucking get it. You think your problems are real. No, you are inventing them. You are pulling them in specifically at a time where you are going to become out of control. See, you have this idea that if you're out of control, you will be chaotic element, which is actually true, but you've decided and defined that chaos is evil and wrong. So you spent your entire life trying to order you. Every single problem you have is so you can maintain the order that keeps you predictable in this reality and for your family and for the bigger family called the world. Let's address another thing that a lot of you have bought, whether you know it or not, which is it's your fault. Um, what is my fault? It, all of the it's, everything. Okay. I don't know about you, but in my family, my stepmother had the point of view that any problem that we had was because of me. My mom's girlfriend had the point of view that any problem anybody had in the house was because of me. Why? Well, because I was the sweet little potent humanoid, so of course it's my fault. Why was it for you? Because you were the sweet, potent humanoid, and therefore it's your fault. You're the square peg in the round hole. You're the one who doesn't fit. You're the one who doesn't get it. You're the one who doesn't understand. You're the one who can't limit yourself the way you're supposed to. Except eventually, when you find a way, you lock that in. It's now where everything else comes from. So everything you're looking at, like changing your money situation and your relationship stuff and this custody thing that keeps happening, all of these things, but basically what you do is you lock that in, you finally, over years and years and years, you find a way of not being too much. And then every moment of your life is holding that in place, holding everything that comes in, everything you choose, everything you can create, everything you can be, holding that in place against, does it match this and does it destabilize this? So what happens is you were this chaotic element. You still are. You can't not be what you are. You can just use a huge amount of energy to pretend that's not true for you, to pretend you're as limited and structured as your family, and then your family called the world of people, okay? Because you have mom and dad and sister, brother, whatever, and they each have their own structure of this reality. But then you have what is called your family, and they have an overriding structure, which each of these structures is fitting into. And all of these fuckers do it just fine. They fit into it just fine. It's real for them. They're totally, I was going to say happy, but are they really? No, it's probably not, but you know it. But they're like, okay, I'm totally here with this. And so what you do, you're the little chaotic fireball. Except that is unacceptable because this structure will not allow it. So over years and years and years, you find a way of not being everything you are so that you can pretend to be something that fits in this, something that has validated this, something that will not destroy all of this. And now here you are living your life 30 years later going, why the fuck do I keep having the same issue over and over and over? Well, is it you, the being, that has the issue, or is it the structure of reality that you have invented as you that actually isn't? If there's a thing called infinite, which you are, okay, you are an infinite being. I know when I say that, you're like, because your mind can't fathom it. But if there's a thing called infinite, think of infinite, the entire universe, all universes, everything in existence, you are oneness with. You are it too. And then look at you and your body and how much energy you have and how much money and how much influence and how much whatever. Basically, you're doing this so that you can exclude everything else but the you that you have invented yourself as, just like your family did and just like 8 billion people on the fucking planet are doing. There's a sense in which you would think other people would know this. No, they fucking don't. Okay, so what do we do about it? Well, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory is an amazing way of infusing the you into your universe, the space around this structure, and through this structure to start breaking off parts of the structure. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be. Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. Dissolves the structure. What is this structure? It's a structure of MEST reality that keeps you vibrating like MEST reality, keeps you stuck as though MEST reality is real and true and is the only reality in existence, the only game in town, and as though there is nothing beyond it. Get people who come to Access all the time who are basically like, show me through MEST reality how to have a better MEST reality. I'm choosing consciousness. I'm like, consciousness includes MEST reality, but if you're really choosing consciousness, you've got to be willing to have things be undefined and not predictable, because defined and predictable is MEST reality. How many of your problems are to make yourself defined and predictable? So what happens is, in creating this structure, and you may think you have no idea what I'm talking about right now, okay? This is from 25 years of personal exploration and facilitating. Not nearly enough, but a lot of people. Okay. So if you're like, I don't get what you're talking about, don't even bother trying. Please, really, like, don't even make your mind work so hard as to go, I can get it. No, just listen until the energy infuses into your world. That's what all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory does. That's what everything is the opposite of what it appears to be. Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be does. That's what would happen if I were out of control, definition, limitation, form, structure, significance, linearity, and concentricities does. What happens is you create this structure, and this structure has been determining 99% of your choices. If you use all of life comes with ease and joy and glory, everything is the opposite, and out of control would help too. If you choose to be interesting point of view, if you pock and pod when stuck shit comes up and use those, what'll happen is you will start to perceive spaces of possibility and things you thought it was impossible to change.